Okay, it's been a cool minute since I filmed a video, right? Okay! I wanted to kick this video out because the official release is this week. And I need to tell y'all whether or not I like it. So, I'm starting this new little series called Fall Into the Hype. Because as we all know, things get hyped up on Instagram, on Facebook, on Instagram. So I'm starting this new series because I thought it would be helpful. A lot of people always come into my store and ask me about certain products. Well, I saw this on Instagram, or oh, I saw it on YouTube. Like, things get hyped up all over social media, right? Right. I just realized I was like hella up close, all up in your face. So I'm gonna back up a little bit. I was like, ooh, I hella close. What up, y'all? So this particular video, this is going to be on the new Benefit They're Real push-up liner. Push-up, you know, like a bra. This is what the packaging looks like. So any kind of oil-based makeup remover will get this baby off, because if not, this thing is ironclad. Like, it holds on for dear life on that lash line of yours, boo-boo. So my issue with this thing, okay, I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't care for it. Simply said, it's not a bad thing. It's just they make it kind of acting like and marketing it like it's supposed to be a really super easy liner to use. But it takes a couple tries, y'all. Like, I think I'm on like at least like my, well, I finally figured out how to use it after like my third or fourth time. I was like, okay, we're getting better at this thing. But I have to be honest, it's really nothing that any other liner can do for me. You know what I'm saying? First and foremost, yes, I'm wearing it. So let me go ahead and zoom in for you. I didn't do a demo because it was just going to be way too extensive. But this is, sorry, hella all up in your facial, girl. So this is what it looks like. It is really easy to make a wing if you can figure out how to use it. Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple tips and tricks on how to use it if you really want to fall in love with it. But my number one thing why I like it, if I did, you know, choose to like it more than gripe it, I like how black it is. I'm a huge fan of very dark black liners. I'm really picky about my liners. They gotta be real dark black or I ain't having it. So as far as the way it actually looks, I like it. I do. But it takes a couple tries to get there. This is what it first looks like when you first get it. It has a little stopper. Don't lose that stopper. Please don't. You're gonna regret it. So this stopper it does a couple things. So it keeps it from oozing out while you're not using it, and it also keeps it from drying out. I did test it and I gave it like a day, like the next day, and I left it open like this with the cap on, and I'm not joking, when I finally clicked it out, it took hecka long to push the product out because it was dry and like stuck in there. So you're definitely gonna want to keep this stupid little pusher thing. Not very great for people who lose things like myself. Like, I literally have to pay attention to this thing not to lose it because it's so damn small. So packaging wise, I wish that could have been a little bit better. Let me zoom you into the actual tip itself, because this is definitely one thing I do like about it. So this is what the tip looks like. It has this little nub right here. Sorry, excuse my nails. They ratchet. My nails are hella offensive right now, okay? Don't judge me. This is what the tip looks like. As you can tell, it has a slanted tip, and then it has this little nub right here. And this thing, this whole thing is called like a little AccuFlex tip, whatever you want to call it. But the whole purpose to this style is that when you're applying it, this little nubbin right here holds your lashes down. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I suffer from getting liner on my lashes because I need to actually curl my lashes before I put my liner on. And not that I experience getting liner on my lashes a lot, but the wrong liner will get stuck and all gloopy. So I definitely kind of like that aspect of this. Like, I almost want to dip this tip into my normal gel liner and use the tip of this. Another good thing is that it's ergonomically good to hold. Like, it's that sort of squarish kind of thing. So it's really easy to hold in your hand. It's easy to flip it around and maneuver it. Like, if you go wrong with holding this, then you special, girl. Because this makes it super easy. So I do love the style of the way it was made, but I mean, there's some pros and cons to the packaging in my personal opinion. Another thing I don't like about the packaging is that I can't tell when I'm out of it, because what you're supposed to do is click it up. Hear that? So when you first get it, you're gonna need to click hella times. It tells you 10. It's more like 20, maybe even 30 for some people, depending on, you know, your product. But I'm pretty sure, from my experience, even with the testers at work, it's like 20 clicks, like and that ain't 10, that's way more than 10. So I was like, I even tried to count. I was like, tick, 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 and at 10, nothing. I was like, okay, why you gotta lie though? I do absolutely love how easy it is to make the wing. However, like I mentioned earlier, takes a little practice. So my main issue is that it tells you 1 click is enough for each eye. No. Lie again. Why you gotta lie, benefit? Okay. So deceiving. It doesn't take just 1 click. Like, let me show you. I'm actually gonna click it up. Okay, so this was 3 clicks. This is how much 3 clicks brings out. Okay, but I'm gonna show you how it applies when you first put it on. Like, do you see how it balls up just right there? So you gotta use a really, really light hand. And then, to make it worse, like, you're gonna keep sort of spreading it, right? Okay, and it keeps going. It's nice and creamy. Love it, love it, love it. Okay. You can get away with maybe 2 clicks on each eye. But the thing is by the time it gets on your eye, it dries hella fast. And the formula is so thick. Or, I don't know if I want to say formula and consistency. It's a little bit of both. Like, the formula and the consistency is a little bit thick. So, you see how I gave it just like a couple seconds to dry? Now, I'm going to add just a little bit more. So I'm going to do like, well, I suggest going click by click, by the way. But once I try to add more, it gets all like gloopy and thick and gross. And I hate it. So it kind of starts to skip. Like, I don't know if you can see right here in this area, it sort of starts to skip a little bit if you don't have the right amount of product. So it takes a lot of practice to get this right, because you have to click off the right amount. You know what I mean? Like, on my hand, it seems so much easier. Like, when I was testing it in the store, and see, look, I just did 1 swipe on my hand, and it dragged. The formula dries really, really fast, which is good and bad. Good because it kind of tells you, yeah, it's going to be hella long lasting and waterproof, but bad because if you're the type of person that is a perfectionist with your liner, and you're not really all that great at making the perfect swoop or angle or whatever it may be, this is going to piss you off, because you're going to keep trying to go over, like, you know, with like liquid liner, you do like a couple little swoops, or you go straight across, and then you can kind of perfect it a little bit, you know what I mean? And it just goes over what you just did. This one, you go over what you just did, and it will drag. Like, I'm not sure if you can even tell, but there's like all these like little crumblies on my hand. So can you imagine what that would be like on your eye? Like, that's just so annoying. It's dragging on your eyeball. Like, it's one thing that I already have to pull it taut because of the way my eyelids are. Like, I have all these, like, I don't know if you guys, well, you guys watch my tutorials, right? Y'all know that I have like all these like little lines, creases, slash whatever you may want to call them. So I have to actually pull my eye taut to make sure I get a nice, really even line. And I'll tell you right now that liner in a pot with a brush, so much easier. It took me a while to get used to this. I have to work in pieces as opposed to doing like one long swoop and then going over it again to perfect it, because it's not going to happen. Unless you work really lightning fast, boo-boo, it's not going to work. So I highly suggest you really, really practice with it before you finally return it, because it does take a couple tries. It took me at least my 3rd or 4th time I was finally like, okay, I'm getting it. I kind of like it. I like the formula. It's very long lasting. And like long lasting power is amazing, but I hate the consistency. Like, the consistency bugs me. Like, and then when you feel it, it's dragging, dude. It's so annoying. Samage, my girl Sam, we were talking about it on Instagram, and she described it the perfect way. It's dry heavy. It's a dry heavy formula. That's a good way to describe it, because once it sets, I love that it's a matte finish, don't get me wrong, but once it sets, that's kind of it. You can't touch it anymore. Leave it alone. Because basically, like, if you make a mistake, you're kind of screwed, especially if you have eyeshadow on, you're just like, oh shit. And then to make it worse, you can perfect liquid liner super, super easy. You just take a Q-tip with a little bit of makeup remover, or do the old school trick when you kind of put it in your mouth. I never do that, but I see people do it all the time, and that'll clean up a liquid liner. This one, you can't do that because it's so damn waterproof that you have to use waterproof makeup remover to correct it. So for those of you who just have no time and patience, this ain't for you, boo-boo. You're gonna get so irritated. But it's one of those things like, ain't nobody got time for that. You know what I mean? Like, liner is like the least of my worries. You know what I'm saying? I would rather spend more time on my eyeshadow, popping on my lashes. But I've become a master at being able to do things hella fast, so I don't have time for products that I gotta really, really work with. You know what I mean? I want something that, not that it's easy, but just something that I don't have to think too much about. And this is that kind of product that you do have to think a lot about. This is not brainless, and I think that's what bugs me about it, is because it's not as easy as they're making it sound. I mean, for $24, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of an investment when it comes to liner. Thank God I got it in gratis, because I could never see myself spending $24 for this. For $24, I could get 4 liners of my favorite one, and I would never have to struggle with application. You know what I mean? I don't think it's worth the price. I think they kind of shot a little high with it. I think they could have made it $20 just like their other liners. So I have issues with the price, because I feel like for $24 I could get multiple things, at least 3 things that would do better, you know what I mean? Or 2 of my favorite liquid liners, and it would do better, you know? So my issue is, like, I just don't think it's worth the price. It's just, it's just too much work. Like, it's too much work for a $24 liner, you know what I'm saying? I definitely think Benefit could have done way better. I would not recommend this on your waterline. 2 reasons. It's really sticky, and you might hate how it feels. I tried it on my waterline, especially in my tight line, because that's where I wanted to see, because ideally this is really great for getting really close to your lash line. This is perfect for those of you who really want to get really close in there, right in between your lashes. It's perfect for that, because, you know, you can just do like one click and kind of get really all up in there. But on the waterline, like on the tight line and the waterline, I'm not a fan. It feels sticky every time I blink. Like, I'll blink and I'll feel it like sort of sticky, and I don't like that feeling. So it's just uncomfortable. And then another thing that I don't like because of that is that it gets on contact. Like, for example, Urban Decay's Perversion liner. The reason why I don't like that one, I like Zero, love Zero, and I love the Black Velvet. But Perversion is a lot thicker and a lot more creamier, and it dries just the same as the other one, so that one I feel like it's really sticky and it gets all up in my contacts. This one does the same thing. So that's another thing I don't like about it. I definitely recommend you try this in store before purchasing it, because right off the gate you'll be like, oh yeah, I don't like it. So if you were to ask me, is this worth it or is it not, I would definitely say no. Obviously that's the part that we're trying to get to, right? Is it worth it? Is it not? Not worth the hype. I'm just gonna get straight to the point and tell y'all that it's not worth the $24. That's just my personal opinion. I do highly suggest that you go to the store and try it for yourself, however, because I definitely feel like if you can manage to kind of work with it because you just really, really want to love it, then go for it. But for $24, I don't think it's worth it. I think they could have done much, much better. But do I think that it's a good formula? Yes. I don't think it's a good product overall. However, I'm a little sad because I love Benefit, and I don't know, they kind of missed the mark with this one for me. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm sorry, I thought this was going to be short and sweet, but it wasn't. I will talk to you guys later. Bye!